everybody. Dr. Brian Dooley coming to you from beautiful Spartanburg, South Carolina today. I'm pretty jazzed up for a number of reasons. One, I just had a fantastic 12th quarter class where we talked about networking. And one of the best networking places I've found to attend in chiropractic is New Beginnings, held a few times a year in beautiful, beautiful state of New Jersey. And yes, it can be beautiful in New Jersey. It doesn't all look like right outside the airport. And so one of my favorite folks that I've met at New Beginnings is Dr. Jeff Wack. And Dr. Jeff, how long have you been going to New Beginnings, and why do you keep going back, and why do you love it so much?
Well, Brian, I think I actually, if we ever audited the records from New Beginnings, you and I think attended both the first time at the same time. I had followed Jim Sigafus for many years with the Gathering seminars, and when Jim passed and things changed dramatically, I was looking for another avenue to have a family in chiropractic and have that connection with some really good friends that I can confide in and share all my concerns and practice concerns, personal concerns, whatever. And I had heard about New Beginnings for years. I actually think I met Jim many, many years ago at a Gathering seminar with Sigafus. And then he and Bab started everything while I was going in the other direction. And I was really amazed. It's probably been 5 or 6 years ago I came to my first New Beginnings, but so many of the family from the Gathering were actually at New Beginnings. And it was very easy to just feel comfortable, kind of just get that seat and that place in the room, because everybody tends to gravitate toward the same place all the time when they sit there, and feel part of the family. And it's something that when I realized that this one was actually going to happen in May, right away you start getting excited. You look forward to being there with your colleagues, your comrades, and I've gotten some really good personal connections through New Beginnings as well.
Well, it's funny. I feel like I'm the guy that showed up the newest, because I guess we did, because that was about when I started at New Beginnings as well. And much like you, I had heard about this event. So I know there's people watching this that have probably heard about New Beginnings and what it's all about. But to your point, I mean, what I like about it is I remember when I got out into practice in 2005. So I got a little late to the game as far as getting out into practice, but feeling like I was by myself, and the only place I had to turn was, and I went to Sherman College, so Sherman's Lyceum. But there's these other events. There's people out there that want us as new budding business owners. They want us to do well, and they want chiropractic to do well. And that's what I like about New Beginnings, is just how much I feel rooted for, and how much people want me to see me do well, not just for me, but because then that means you and I are making a healthier community or a healthier world.
Well, and that's where people realize when you speak at New Beginnings, as we both have a couple times now, when you speak to large numbers of people, that translates into helping more large numbers of people, because they will take that energy, that information, that enthusiasm back to their practices and spread it through their individual communities. And it's exponential. It's really something that's a great phenomenon. And I know this happens all the time when you start to get close to New Beginnings, especially if you're scheduled to speak, and you start getting excited. And my practice, even when you started doing these videos, especially, it was like, boom, I'm at New Beginnings because of the connection I have with every single speaker that you've put on so far with these interviews. And the other day, I think it was yesterday, I listened to Pam Jarboe. And, I've heard Pam speak many times, and I'm sure she has said it before, but I've been too mesmerized by her Irish Amishness and didn't take it all in. But I had a note here on my schedule for a couple days now. I have a whiteboard in the reception area, as I'm sure a lot of us do. And you put a quote up there and you change it from time to time. And I've been long overdue to change my quote. And she was saying how, your health affects let me just read it so I don't get it wrong. Your health affects everything you do and everyone you know. And I know she said that before. She had to have. And And I was like, oh, my quote, thank you, Pam. But that's how it works with New Beginnings. Everything you need will be provided to you when you go to a New Beginnings seminar. And if you go there expecting something, you might be disappointed, because you're going to get what you need, and the universe will provide that for you. And it's just such a cool dynamic the way that happens. And one of the great things about New Beginnings, that energy that just flows through the whole group from beginning to end, and it just increases and increases and increases as the weekend goes on.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, because New Beginnings is one of those places where people just give. And as you said, I've sat there many a times through the seminars, and I'll write my notes, but it'll be some quip I get either at the bar or I'm at dinner, might be walking down the boardwalk, just shooting the breeze with somebody. And that's going to be the piece. Oh, that's what I came here for. And so you never know when that piece is going to show up. And the content's always good as far as the speakers. But what I like about it is when I'm hanging out with, you name the personality in chiropractic, to either from the unknown to the most well-known, everybody has something to offer, and everybody will just give it to you. Versus, listen, that's a great question. Buy my program and I'll tell you all about it. That's not what New Beginnings is about. New Beginnings is about just us sharing our journey through chiropractic with each other, and people realize, you know what, I'm on the same journey as this person. We can share some things.
Yeah, and especially this past year, it's been a long, strange trip, and it seems like the trip isn't quite over yet, and we're not ready to disembark, but we're getting there day by day, and it's been something interesting with state by state. It's so very different, just as it is when you travel, how chiropractic has been affected throughout the United States this past 12, 15 months and beyond. And one thing, thanks to New Beginnings, if those of you who are on the site on a regular basis, every other Monday, John McAtamany has had this Band of Brothers meeting that he's posted the link, and a bunch of us have showed up on a regular basis. And there are a bunch of folks from Long Island, and he's brought in some really great speakers. It's 8:30 on a Monday night. I want to give a little plug to him. He's helped keep my focus and enthusiasm up, which is the big challenge I think we all face in general in practice, is staying focused. And Sharon Gorman's focus seminar was a perfect example that we used to have in the Poconos. And I think that's where Jim may have first heard me speak. And it's been, Sharon's a continual force in New Beginnings as well. And these people that we have now, latch your, tie on to their boat and hang on, because there's still a lot of great things to be found in chiropractic through the people we have at New Beginnings. And I have this habit of saying we, because, even though I don't run New Beginnings, we that show up are New Beginnings. And without us, New Beginnings does not exist. So you're part of a family, and you are part of the we when you show up, even if it's your first time. You'll be welcome with open arms, and we'll take you in and bring you along as much as you want to come.
Well, that's one of the things a lot of people have mentioned, the feeling you get when you show up and you see Jim and he says, welcome home. And you do, you just feel at home no matter how it is. And I've mentioned it a couple of times. My wife will tell you, who is not a chiropractor, she's not a CA in my office, she's got her own career. She will tell you that New Beginnings is the place that, quote, as she puts it, as an outsider, she's felt the most welcome. And it's because of the chiropractors and the non-chiropractors, which at the end of the day, it's just the people that are there, no matter what they do. It's just this magical type of a thing. And what I like about it is people that speak. We never have speaker calls of, hey, this is what we want to do, or this is the emotion we're trying to do. Everybody just puts their piece out, and you know what? It just seems to flow like no other way. So you're going to be speaking. Do you have any idea what you might be speaking on a little bit?
Well, I try to, I probably put more thought into it than I should until I actually get up there. And then everything changes. I try not to go in too prepared when I show up there on Thursday. And because as you know, if you are speaking later in the program, thank goodness I'm after lunch on Friday, so I'm going relatively early. there's less of a chance that someone else will cover exactly what I wanted to cover and emphasize. But that's what makes it fun. There's always those butterflies. As soon as you get the letter from Jim that says, will you speak and this is your time. It starts that process even months earlier. You start thinking, and every night or every day in your practice, there's another phrase that comes to mind or another topic that one of your patients may present to you. And I usually just have a couple keywords or notes. I've done a little bit of a PowerPoint. I don't, stick to a PowerPoint ever when I get it anyway. And the next thing you know, you get to 5 minutes to go and you got to wrap it up and you're off. But it's interesting from a speaker standpoint because you always, as a person that's presenting, take a lot from it as well. I'm not just there for the people that show up. I'm there to receive from them. And that's really the most rewarding thing, is to know that, hey, I only took 20 minutes of my life, but I hope I made an impact on you because I know you made an impact on me. And I always leave there a better person. And I think that's the key with the chiropractic philosophy. It's our philosophy of life in general. It's not just for our businesses. And if more people would latch on to that philosophy, my gosh, we know the world would be a better place, as well as being subluxation free.
Well, you mentioned the 20-minute talks, and that's one of the things I love now. The CE talks are an hour at New Beginnings, so people know. But there's so many of these just 20-minute just blips where, boy, I can just dive in with this for 20 minutes. And we've all been to speakers, whether it's at church or not New Beginnings, but a lot of places we've been like, wow, that speaker's going real long. Well, the way Jim sets it up, 20 minutes does go real fast. I remember the first time I spoke, I got through my intro and I got the 5-minute sign. So I was like, oh, and then we're done. So good to see you. And so what I like about it, though, and you had mentioned where all of a sudden the 5-minute sign goes up, is Jim's not looking for perfection. So what you get from people is really what's coming off of their heart. And I've certainly done the same thing where I know here's my slides and this is what I'm going to talk about. But then the story does change depending on, wow, that really created a thought in me. And then if it created it in me, maybe somebody else is having that same thought and we can talk about it a little bit. So it's really magical the way, I don't know how Jim does it, but when he puts everything together, it's just an awesome time. It is in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Like I say, the Jersey Shore is great. If you haven't gone, you want to get some pizza and bagels, come to Jersey and it'll be a fantastic time. Folks can register at www.nbchiro.com. So there's still time. We would love to see you. And I've been telling everybody, Jeff, not only am I speaking at this event, but I also used to park cars at this hotel. So I'm going to speak and then I'll be glad to park your car as well.
Well, I'm going to make sure I leave my Mustang at home based on that fact. And I will bring my pickup truck, which you're more than welcome to handle as roughly as you'd like to. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
That's probably the best thing to do. No doubt about it. So, Jeff, take us out. Any final thoughts for New Beginnings, which is coming up May 20th through 23rd?
Well, if you may have a reason to think that you can't or shouldn't or it's not going to work out to come, lose it right now and just find the reasons to come, because everybody that's there will benefit. Everybody that's there will leave different than when they showed up, in a good way. And you will meet some fantastic people. You will share some crazy stories and have a lot of fun and fellowship while you're there. It's not all business. It is a lot of fun. And it's just one of the best programs going in chiropractic in our region. And I want to see it last forever and ever. So bring your spouse, bring your kids, bring your dogs, bring your cats. Everybody just show up at the Jersey Shore and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, so great to speak with you and can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks and we'll be hanging out, I'm sure.
Very good, Brian. Look forward to getting a big hug. We'll see you in a couple.